Hi, this is Ed Nowatka for Publishing Perspectives. I'm at the ABA Winter Institute in Seattle in 2014. And could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes, thank you. My name is Philippe Hunziker. I'm from Sophos, a bookstore in Guatemala City, Guatemala.
And can you tell us a little bit about your bookstore, its history, the type of books you sell?
Yes, we opened the bookstore in 1998, so 15 years ago, a couple of years after the peace accords in Guatemala, so a very auspicious time to open a bookstore in Guatemala after a long period of time where books were not banned, but practically people started waking up to the idea of discovering the world and Guatemala proper. So our customer base is very much interested in Guatemalan topics. We're a general bookstore. We sell books from all over the world, but Guatemalan topics are particularly sought out in our bookstore.
And Guatemala is a quite small country. Does it have a strong reading and publishing culture?
It's a 14 million population country, but very difficult access to education, very unequal conditions. So there's a rather small but growing reader base.
And as far as the industry goes, you describe the type of book that's in demand as being of Guatemalan topics. Are there enough titles for the industry to sort of support and supply the public that you've got? And for example, what percentage of your books originate from Guatemala or perhaps from other Spanish-speaking countries?
Yes, although there is a very big interest in Guatemalan topics, only about 15% of our sales are books that are produced in Guatemala or have Guatemalan subjects on it. But it is a percentage that has been growing a lot in the past 10 years, and I suspect it will keep on growing in the future.
And where do you get your supply of the other 85% of titles?
Mostly Spain, Mexico in second place, and then from the U.S. we have quite a few customers that read English, as they do all over the world. So the U.S. is our third origin by size.
Okay. And you've traveled to Seattle because you obviously want to learn something or discover something. What is it you've come to look for, and have you found it?
Well, Guatemala being such a small country and most of all having such a small book-selling community, we feel isolated. We are not in touch with everything that is going on in the book world outside of Guatemala. So these kinds of interactions are very much profitable for us to learn from other positive or negative experiences.
Mm-hmm. How big is the book selling community then? Is there a dominant chain? Are there
yes,
e-book
there are a couple of or three book selling chains. Then maybe 2 or 3 independent booksellers in Guatemala City, and then some other rather large but distinct or non-commercial religious bookstores.
Okay. And are ebooks any kind of factor in your business at this point?
Yes, they are. We sell ebooks. We have been selling ebooks for the past 2 years.
With whom? Who's your supplier?
Libranda, Publidisa, Leer E, and Digital Books, all from Spain.
Yeah. But it's a very small percentage.
It is a very small percentage. It has been growing, not a lot, but it has been growing. But it's still less than 1% of our sales.
And do you see competition? Are people ordering books from Amazon, for example?
Yes, ebooks particularly.
In ebooks in particular.
Yes.
So it gleans with some of that business.
Yes.
Yeah. And so if there's one thing that you've taken away, one idea that you want to try to execute at your own store from this event here in Seattle, what would that be?
I've been very interested in how booksellers in the U.S. are used to selling both new books and used books. We only sell new books. I would like to explore that. Also, being such a community-based bookstore, being able to provide authors self-publishing possibilities is a venue that I would like to explore also.
And if somebody wanted to take a look at your store online or track you down, where can they find you?
Yes, our website is www.sophosenlinea.com. That's SOPHOSENLINEA.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Enjoy
Thank you.
yourself.